And let's cross now live to Abu Dhabi, where we're joined by Mr. Loay Al-Shareef, peace activist and expert in Arab-Israeli relations. Thank you very much, Mr. Al-Shareef, for your time. So let's start with the latest. We're hearing this response on behalf of the UAE and also the Houthis shedding more light on the attack today, adding that it involved 5 ballistic missiles and several drones. What should we be expecting next?
Okay, first of all, I would like to pay my condolences to the families of the fallen, the terrorist attack that took place today in Abu Dhabi. And I would like to stress on 2 important points. The first one is Abu Dhabi is, and will always be safe, and the entire territories of the UAE will always be safe. And second of all, the international community must really act on this terrorist group that's waging a proxy war against the UAE and Saudi Arabia and other Gulf countries or other Gulf states. And their danger could really reach out to all of us. Now, the second step, I believe that the UAE made a clear statement that it reserves its right to self-defense and it reserves its right to retaliate against these terrorist attacks, because eventually everyone should know, and I would like your audience to know that in Israel, that the Houthis are not promising any life that is flourishing or that is progressive. They are just waging wars, unlike Saudi Arabia and UAE, whose their agenda is very obvious, that we want to spread. We want everyone to flourish and we want everyone to prosper. These 2 words are not in the dictionary of the Houthis. The Houthis are so good at waging wars and causing destruction.
Mr. Al-Shareef, echoing what you've said about international support, the UAE has reportedly asked the U.S. to put back the Houthi rebels to the list of organizations that support terrorism, and generally requested to increase assistance in stopping the flow of weapons to the Houthi rebels. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan just commenting. What more can you tell us on the cooperation with the states in this respect?
So in this respect, not only you see labeling a Houthi or labeling the Houthis as a terrorist organization, of course, is a very important step. But I really want the audience to know that the Houthis don't only target Saudi Arabia or the UAE. They could also target some other civilian targets, like or the American interests in the Gulf, and we cannot allow this to happen. So there is a cooperation between the Gulf states, especially the UAE and Saudi Arabia, with the Americans to stop these attacks, further attacks, more and more, because they are very barbaric. They attack civilians, and it really has to be brought to an end.
And touching that point exactly, Mr. Al-Shareef, do you think that Israel might be on the target list, quote unquote, of the Houthis in this respect, especially in light of the increasing cooperation between Abu Dhabi and Jerusalem?
Well, you cannot actually have code of ethics from terrorists. So right. Terrorists, you cannot really know who they will target or not. But since now they opened a new gate to target Abu Dhabi, I'm so sure that Abu Dhabi or the UAE will retaliate strenuously and vehemently, and it will not allow the Houthis and the Houthis. This kind of terrorist act has to be brought to an end. And ani mikaveh, as you guys say in Hebrew, ani mikaveh, I hope that it will end very soon. Everyone should be aware that these terrorists who are waging a proxy war, they don't want our Middle East to be stable. They don't promote a stable Middle East. They promote a chaotic Middle East. And that's not what we want in the UAE or in Saudi or even in Israel.